Can you hoop? It's one of the most simple yet profound questions I've ever been asked in my life. Now, when I was in the 7th grade, I was going out for the basketball team. And like most 7th grade boys who go through that process, you're nervous and you're wondering, how can I give myself the best opportunity to make the squad? Now, I figured with my logic, hey, if I talk to the head coach, maybe he could give me some insights, give me some tips on how I can make the team. Now, the head coach of the program actually only coached 8th grade. And so I figured if I talked to him, he could tell me how I could impress the 7th grade coach. So my coach's name was Coach Vela. And so one day I saw Coach in the gym and he's putting up shots. And so I muster up the courage and I walk over to him and I say, "Hey, Coach, you got a second?" Of course he does. And he says, "Well, hey, Jack, what you got going on?" I say, "Hey, Coach, do you think I could make the basketball team?" And he looks at me, kind of sizes me up and says, "Can you hoop?" Now today, I'm going to be channeling my inner Coach Vela, and I'm asking you the same thing. Those 3 words. Can you hoop? But not in the sense of the game of basketball. We're talking about the game of life. When you get the opportunity, are you able to maneuver in the game and play that game? Welcome to the Hype Jack, where we challenge the way you think so that you could change the way you live. My name is Kevin Jack, and every week we break down the mindsets, habits, and decisions that separate those who stay stuck from those people who live extraordinary lives. Now, everything that we teach is based on the 3 I's. That's identity, influence, and impact. And today we are kicking off our identity series as we are all heading back to school, back to work, and all engaging in new seasons upon our lives. Now, this is a special message because identity is where it all starts. I truly believe that without identity, you can't influence. Without identity, you can't make an impact because it all starts with who you are. And today we're going to unpack 3 principles so that when someone asks you that question about the game of life, you're able to respond with a definitive yes. So our first principle is shoot your shot. Now, this is one that everybody says. Everybody's heard, hey, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, or you got to shoot your shot. Everybody has heard that. It's kind of cliche. But when we talk about shooting your shot, let's really break down what it means. Now, I always like to go back to sport because I feel like sports are a great parallel to life. When Steph Curry came into the league, we had seen nothing like him. Hands down, he's a Hall of Famer. Hands down, he is the best shooter that we've ever seen in our lifetime. The thing about Steph is that he influenced a whole change in the game of basketball. So no longer was it cool to drive to the paint and dunk. It was, can you shoot from long range and can you be accurate in doing so? So Steph would pull up from right at half court, swish, green. Anywhere that he pulls up that shot, he's going to make it. And so for me, as a young coach, I was teaching 7th graders how to play the game of basketball. And we always talked about, hey, shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. Now, our game plan was to take the simplest shot, be as close to the basket as we possibly could get, right? And so we played a full court man-to-man defense. And so our whole goal was to apply pressure, get the turnover, and then make the layup, shoot your shot. See, our shot was not the long range 3. Our shot was not going to be the long range jumper. It was going to be the layup. That was our shot. Now, in one game where it was on the line, we are up. And to seal the game, all we have to do is continue to do what we have been doing, which is apply pressure, get the steal, get the turnover, lay it up. We have the game won. And one of my players, he gets the ball, he steals it, he has an open layup. He decides to take the three, misses the three. They get the ball. Of course, they were down one. They come back down. They shoot the layup to win the ball game. And so it all came down to shooting your shot, but not just taking a shot on an opportunity. See, most people, when they say shoot your shot, they mean, hey, try for the opportunity. No, I mean, whatever your specialization is, if you are the long range guy, then that's your shot. If you're Steph from half court, that's your shot, right? If you're Luka, that 18-footer, that's your shot. Everybody has a specific role to play, a specific shot that they have to take. Some guys are good at the putback, some guys are good at the fast break and making the layup. And so when we talk about shooting your shot, we're talking about taking not only the opportunity, but making sure it is your shot. See, a lot of times we will get the opportunity. We take advantage of the opportunity, but we're shooting a three when we should be just laying it up. And so we'll make things harder than they have to be. Whether that means, hey, all you need to do is upload your video, right? We make it a whole process. Instead of just doing the easy things, making the layups, we're going to take the harder shot. We're going to take the harder attempt. We're not thinking about our skill sets. We're thinking about the big influence. We're thinking about the Steph Curry in our career fields. And we're trying to emulate that. But what we don't realize is that Steph has put in the work to be able to take those long range shots. And if you put in the work, by all means, take that shot. But if you have not, then of course, shoot your shot. That means whatever your skill set is, whatever it is that you're supposed to do, make sure you're not only going out for the opportunities in that space, but you're making sure those opportunities are specialized for you. Shoot your shot, right? Many people, they're taking a shot, but they're taking the shot that's not theirs, right? They're shooting Steph's shot. So I want you to ask yourself, have I been shooting my shot, right? Not have I just been taking advantage of the opportunities, but have I really thought about my skill set, whether it's communication, right? Whether it's organization. Have I been thinking about my skill set and what I do the best and taking the best shot? This week, your assignment is going to be to write down the opportunities that you're taking and whether they fit your actual skill set. The next principle is a big one. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Now, whether you're a parent, a student, an athlete, a creator, or an entrepreneur, your dream already has a destination. And the Hype Score provides a roadmap to that destination. Now, while everybody else is measuring performance, the Hype Score measures opportunity. So go see what all the hype's about. Go to kevinjack.com and get your Hype Score today. Don't miss the free throws. See, many people, they live for the slam dunk. They live for the big job, the promotion, the big video, and they wait on those moments. But if you think about those moments in an actual basketball game, they're few and far between. Rarely do you see the posterizing dunk every single play. But what you do see is the free throws. And those are the opportunities, the small moments where you're gifted something. When you're selected to take that free throw, you fought and battled and you were taking your shot, and you might have taken some bumps and bruises to even get that shot off. And now the reward is that you get the opportunity to score freely. And so sometimes you have been working out as a player. You've been putting in all those hours off the field, off the court. And finally, right, you've taken the bumps and bruises and you get your chance to finally step into that game and make a play. Or if you're in business, you've made all of these phone calls, right? And finally you get someone to say, yes, I'll watch your demo. Yes, I'll try your product. But the question is, have you been working on your free throws? Shaq is one of my favorite entertainers, athletes of all time. And it's well known and well publicized that Shaq, being a great player, struggled with his free throws. And so the game plan was always Hack-a-Shaq. Whenever he's going to the basket, let's stop him from scoring his bucket and send him to the free throw line. He's not going to take advantage of the free opportunity. And so my question is that you? Is something in your life pulling a Hack-a-Shaq? They know that you're going and you're going to score, and that if they give you that free opportunity, you're going to blow it. You're going to miss it, right? And what are the free opportunities? What do those look like? Well, the free opportunities are following up, showing up, right? Just showing up every day, being consistent, being present, being focused, doing the things that everybody else is refusing to do. See, free throws are not a real sexy part of the game. They don't look cool, right? It doesn't look cool to be a 98% free throw shooter. But if 98% of the time, right, you're showing up whenever somebody else is only doing it 60% of the time, you stand out. Also, you score more points, you put more points on the board, right? And again, it's the small things. It's the being consistent. It's the being persistent. It's the things that are all in your control, the hard work components. Those are the free throws in life, the things that you put effort into, right? Are you doing those things? The action item this week is to increase your free throw percentage. So that means for me right now, I missed 2 gym days last week. What if I didn't miss one gym day this week? What if I was 100% on my free throws? What if on all the leads that I have within business, what if instead of following up on 20%, I followed up on 100% of those leads? What does that look like if my free throw percentage goes up? What does that look like in business? What does that look like in sport? What does that look like in my creations? What does it look like in my life? Right? And we're doing these hype score consultations. So we have a hype score athlete and hype score creator, and one of the great parts about it is, we have these creators and different athletes. They're now getting their scores, and a big part of that is focused on the identity component and things that are in our realm of control. And we were just talking about, with specifically one creator and one athlete, how that identity piece, it really functions on you. So increasing that score is really about you just putting in things that you can do. You can show up, you can be on time, right? You can be positive. You can be all of those things. The outlook, all of those things are things that you can use to grow. You can increase that free throw percentage. So again, I ask you, in your life, in whatever you're going through, are you going to increase that free throw percentage this week? The final principle is know when to pivot, right? The movement of having to pivot in basketball is really a lot of times just being able to finesse a movement when there's some pressure, right? It's a different way to move when under pressure. Of course, that's not the textbook definition, but it's the hype jack definition. Being able to still move while under pressure, right? Within the rules of the game, the pivot. This is something that I've had to learn several times in my life, is that sometimes life will apply pressure and it'll force us to move in a way that's awkward. And we have to still move within the rules of the game. See, sometimes a lot of us, what we'll do is we'll get that pressure from life, and all of a sudden we'll turn the ball over or we'll travel. And so now the opportunity is gone. But being able to pivot can keep you from turning it over, and it can keep that opportunity or an opportunity in your hands. And so for me, I've had to make major pivots. I pivoted from music into coaching, right? Music and family was applying pressure. And so how do I reposition myself? How do I go through life and be able to move, right? Sometimes you got to pivot. Sometimes the plan that you have is not the plan that's going to go through. See, for me, the initial plan was music and to write songs, right? And sometimes adversities and just a change in heart, a change in your life, right? For me, it was just having a new family and not being able to do the things that music required of me, all of the traveling, all of the being on the road, all of the late nights, being able to be around my kids as they're coming of age. That was important to me. And so I had to make a pivot. See, life applied that pressure to me. How could I move within the game, right? What was I going to do to stay within the rules of the game and to still be able to move, to still have the opportunity, right? Right now, there are some of you who are out there who you're in a situation where you're you've been in a job that you don't like, and life is applying that pressure to you. And I'm telling you right now, all you got to do is focus on the pivot, focus on being able to move within the pressure. It's not going to be the most beautiful thing. There is never a highlight reel of someone pivoting. We never see a highlight of someone utilizing their pivot. You're not going to see that on ESPN's top 10, right? The pivot just allows you to stay in the game, to make the next play, to get to the next opportunity. For some of us, it's we're trying to win a position, we're trying to win a spot. For some of us, is we're going out for a scholarship. For some of us, is we're chasing that viral video. For some of us, we're trying to become streamers. For some of us, it's we're trying to start that business. Can you pivot? Do you know how to pivot? Do you know how to move within the rules of the game? Your task for this week is to figure out, where has life been applying pressure, and to work on how we're going to maneuver. For some of us, right, we have to find a different option. We got to find a different outlet. Just like in the game of basketball, when you're pivoting, sometimes you got to give that ball up, give that opportunity up for a second, and then get back into a spot where you can catch the next pass. So figure out, where has life been applying the pressure? Have you been able to pivot? Have you been knocked off kilter? Right? And then working on your next move. What is the next move? What is your next step? That's your assignment for the week. See, when Coach Vela asked me that question, he wasn't asking me about the game of basketball. He was really asking me about the game of life. He was really asking me about my identity. Notice he didn't say, "Are you tall enough to hoop?" He didn't ask, "Are you fast enough to hoop?" He didn't even ask, Can you dribble enough to hoop? He asked just a simple question. Can you hoop? See, some of us have been making excuses. Height could be an excuse. Oh, I'm not smart enough to do this. I'm not, you know, I can't do this. He didn't ask me any of those things. He asked, can you hoop? He didn't ask about the fundamental skills or how good I was. Just, was I willing to hoop? Are you willing to play the game? Is the question. And when in the game, are you willing to battle like no other? I want you to imagine this. Imagine that you start to shoot your shot. Imagine that when life fouls you, you hit every free throw. Then imagine that in tough situations, when they put the pressure on you, when it feels like you're trapped, you're able to pivot. Imagine what it feels like when the clock rolls to 0 and you've put more points on the board than the opposing team. So the next time someone asks you, can you hoop? I want you to respond, absolutely. My name is Kevin Jack. This is the Hype Jack. Remember, plug into your hype, plug into your potential, and I'll see you next time.